In the high mountains beyond the last paved road of Himachal Pradesh, there was a village where words were treated like fire. They could warm a home, or burn it down. In that village lived a young man named Arav. He was known for many things: his sharp memory, his quick laughter, his quicker temper, but most of all, for his tongue. Arav could speak on any matter: crops, politics, weather patterns, marriage disputes, even the teachings of Gautama Buddha, though he had never truly studied them. People gathered when he talked. He was entertaining, confident, fearless. But slowly, almost invisibly, people also began to leave when he talked. He did not notice at first. The first crack. One summer afternoon, the village council gathered beneath the ancient deodar tree to discuss a water shortage. The river that fed their fields had thinned to a silver thread. Tension hung thick in the air. Before the elders could speak, Arav stood. "This is because we were foolish," he declared. "I said months ago we should build another canal. But no one listens." An old farmer, Dev Singh, cleared his throat. "We considered it, Arav, but the funds." "The funds?" Arav laughed. "Or the courage." The words struck harder than he intended. Dev Singh had given 40 years to the village. He said nothing more that day. The meeting dissolved in quiet resentment. That evening, Arav's mother served him dinner in silence. His father ate slowly, eyes lowered. "Why is everyone so sensitive?" Arav muttered. His father placed his spoon down carefully. "Son," he said, "a sharp blade can cut fruit, or flesh. It depends on the hand." Arav shrugged it off. He did not yet understand that speech, like a blade, first wounds the one who wields it carelessly. The wanderer. Weeks later, a wanderer arrived in the village. He was neither young nor old. His beard was streaked with gray, his eyes were clear and unhurried. He carried little besides a cloth bag and a bamboo flute. He introduced himself simply as Anand. He did not speak much. Naturally, Arav disliked him immediately. "What do you teach?" Arav asked on the second day. Anand smiled. "Listening." Arav scoffed. "Anyone can listen, can they?" Anand asked gently. The villagers, curious, invited Anand to stay for a few days. In the evenings, they gathered near the well. Anand would sit cross-legged, saying nothing until someone asked a question. His answers were short. Often, he would close his eyes before responding. Sometimes, he did not respond at all. This unsettled Arav more than any argument could have. The challenge. One evening, unable to bear it, Arav stood before Anand and said, "If silence is so powerful, then speak. Prove it. Tell us something we do not know." Anand looked at him, not with irritation, but with something softer. "What do you fear most?" he asked. The question struck Arav off guard. "I fear nothing." Anand nodded. "Then be silent for one day." The villagers murmured. Arav laughed loudly. "That is your great wisdom. To not speak." "Yes," Anand replied. "From sunrise to sunset. No words. No gestures. Only observe." Arav agreed immediately. He saw it as a game. He would prove how easy silence was. The day without words. At dawn, Arav woke determined. His mother greeted him. He nodded instead of speaking. At breakfast, his father asked about the market. Arav opened his mouth, then closed it. The first hour passed easily. By mid-morning, irritation crept in. A neighbor complained about her broken fence. Arav knew exactly how to fix it, but he could not say. Children argued in the street. Normally, he would intervene, offering loud advice. Instead, he watched. He began to notice things. The way Dev Singh limped slightly when he thought no one was watching. The worry in his mother's eyes when she counted the remaining grain. The fatigue in his father's shoulders. He noticed how often others interrupted one another. How quickly small misunderstandings turned into arguments. And he noticed something else. When he did not speak, people spoke differently around him. They were calmer. They filled the silence more thoughtfully. That afternoon, a heated dispute broke out between two farmers over irrigation turns. Arav's chest tightened. He had strong opinions. But he remained silent. And something unexpected happened. Without his sharp commentary fueling the tension, the argument burned shorter. The farmers, left to navigate the silence, eventually compromised. Arav felt something unfamiliar. Not victory. Not defeat. Peace. The weight of words. At sunset, Anand approached him. "Well?" he asked. Arav exhaled. "It was harder than I thought." "What did you discover?" Arav hesitated. He wanted to speak carefully now. "I discovered that I speak to be heard. Not to understand." Anand nodded. When you speak, Anand said, you project yourself into the world. But when you are silent, the world enters you. Arav looked at the fading light over the mountains. Why does silence feel powerful? He asked. Because it forces you to confront your thoughts before you release them, Anand replied. Most suffering is born in the space between impulse and expression. Silence stretches that space. The mirror within. In the days that followed, Arav began practicing silence intentionally. Not full days. Moments. Before responding to criticism. Before offering advice. Before defending himself. He noticed how many of his words were driven by pride. Or fear. Or the need to appear intelligent. He remembered the teachings of Laozi he had once mocked. Those who know do not speak. Those who speak do not know. He had always thought that meant ignorance was superior to knowledge. Now he understood. True knowledge did not rush. It did not shout. It waited. The test. The real test came during the harvest festival. A trader from the nearby town accused the villagers of cheating on grain weights. Voices rose. Tempers flared. The trader pointed at Arav. You seem clever. Explain this. Months ago, Arav would have fired back with cutting sarcasm. Now he inhaled. Silence. He looked at the scale. At the weights. At the faces around him. He noticed something small. The trader's scale was slightly uneven. Instead of attacking, Arav calmly adjusted the base, then reweighed the grain. The difference disappeared. The crowd quieted. The trader flushed with embarrassment. Arav spoke softly. Perhaps the ground was uneven. No accusation. No humiliation. The conflict dissolved like mist under sunlight. That night, Dev Singh approached him. You spoke little, the old farmer said, but you said enough. Arav bowed his head. For the first time, his words felt like seeds, not stones. The departure. When Anand prepared to leave the village, Arav walked with him to the edge of the forest. Will you teach elsewhere? Arav asked. Anand smiled. I do not teach. I remind. Of what? That silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of awareness. They stood together without speaking. Arav felt no urge to fill the space. Finally, Anand said, Master silence before you speak again. Then your words will carry weight. And if I fail, you will, Anand said lightly. Many times. But silence is patient. Then he was gone. The years that followed. Seasons turned. The river swelled again. Children grew. Arav changed. He did not become mute. He still laughed loudly at festivals. He still debated ideas passionately. But there was a pause now, a sacred breath before expression. People began to seek his counsel. Not because he spoke the most. But because he spoke last. And when he did, his words were distilled, free from haste, free from ego. One evening, a young boy approached him. How do I become wise? The boy asked. Arav smiled, seeing himself in the child's restless eyes. First, he said, learn to listen. Then, learn to be silent. And then, Arav looked toward the mountains glowing gold under the setting sun. Then speak, only if your words improve upon that silence. The boy frowned. How do I know if they do? Arav closed his eyes for a moment before answering. If your words carry kindness, clarity, or courage, they are worth speaking. If they carry anger, pride, or fear, let them dissolve. The wind moved gently through the deodar trees. In that stillness, Arav felt something he had chased all his life without knowing its name. Power. Not the power of dominating a room. Not the power of winning arguments. But the power of restraint. The power of understanding. The power of silence. The final lesson. Years later, when Arav himself grew older, a severe drought struck again. Panic spread quickly this time. Memories of hardship returned. The villagers gathered once more beneath the same ancient tree. Voices rose. Accusations flew. Fear echoed. Arav sat quietly. He listened to every concern, every complaint, every tremor in each voice. When the noise peaked, he stood. He waited. Slowly, the crowd settled, not because he demanded silence, but because they expected something meaningful when he spoke. He let the quiet stretch. Then he said only this. We survived before. We will survive again. But this time, we listened to one another. And he sat down. There was no long speech. No dramatic declaration. Just a seed planted in still soil. Over the following weeks, the village organized efficiently. They rationed fairly. They built better storage systems. They planned canals with patience and unity. The drought passed. But something else remained. A culture of listening. A respect for the pause. An understanding that words, once released, cannot be reclaimed, but silence can always be chosen. In the end, Arav understood a truth few grasp. Silence is not weakness. It is discipline. It is self-mastery. It is the invisible force that gives words their gravity. For when you master silence before you speak again, your voice no longer seeks attention. It commands respect. And in a world overflowing with noise, the rarest, and most powerful, sound of all is restraint.